For over 1,300 years, the vision has marched unwavering through history, a prophecy unfolding not in vague shadows, but in concrete events. From the fall of Byzantium to the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, from Heraclius to Napoleon, from the Arab caliphates to the British Mandate, each power rising and falling over the same sacred land. Daniel's vision traced every upheaval that shaped the destiny of the Middle East and the land of Israel during the long exile of the Jewish people. Each verse, like a step carved into time, marked a turning point, a war, a king, a decree, a betrayal. Empires came and went: Byzantine, Sassanid, Arab, Crusader, Mamluk, Ottoman, French, and finally the British, the greatest empire the world had ever known. And yet through all this, the land remained under foreign rule, until, at long last, in the ashes of war and the grief of genocide, a nation was reborn. In May of 1948, after nearly 2 millennia of dispersion, the Jewish people returned. The dry bones stood, and Israel lived again. And through those long centuries of exile, the people of Israel drank the bitterest cup. Scattered among the nations, they became a byword of scorn, reviled, hunted, and crushed beneath the boots of empires. They wandered from land to land, strangers even in the world their God had created, bearing the contempt of kings and mobs alike. And at the edge of modernity, their bones were laid bare in the death camps of Europe, withered into walking skeletons beneath smokestacks that reached toward a silent heaven. As the prophets had foretold, they were cast out because of their fathers' sins, but not forgotten. For the God of Israel does not abandon his covenant. He vowed that in the latter days he would gather a remnant, not because of their merit, but because of his undying love, and so the exiles returned. The scapegoat of the nations became a sign of resurrection. For what other people has endured such agony and lived? What other nation has risen from ashes, just as their Messiah, the man of sorrows, once rose from the grave? Yes, perhaps God allowed his people to suffer the fate of a scapegoat, that they might see their Messiah, who was pierced for their transgressions and crushed for their iniquities, reflected in their own pain. But as surely as the Messiah's humiliation gave way to glory, so too did Israel rise from disgrace to rebirth. The dry bones of Ezekiel's vision shook and stood. They walked not as spirits, but with sinews, flesh, and breath, marching homeward to Zion. And though the nations have risen against them these 77 years since, they have not prevailed. For he who watches over Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Though the prince of Persia may rise again, though Greece may yet scheme in the shadows, Israel stands, guarded by Michael, the great prince. Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? He who sits in the heavens laughs. The Lord holds them in derision. Yet I have set my king on Zion, my holy hill, and now that kingdom draws near. But before its dawn, there rises one more shadow, the last enemy, the one who exalts himself above all that is called God, the man of lawlessness. He shall enter the holy place and declare himself divine. The final seal of the book of truth remains unopened, but the hour is at hand. Perhaps, just perhaps, the time has come to open the final chapter of the book, to unveil the last king of Daniel's vision, the one to whom they did not give the honor of the kingdom. For it is written, "And in his place a despised person will stand, to whom the splendor of the kingdom has not been given, but he will come in a time of ease, and take hold of the kingdom by intrigue."
When we enter the climactic verse of Daniel's vision, it's important to pause and examine a subtle, yet theologically profound issue, a matter of translation.